Hi everyone, it's Mama Gypsy. Today I'm going to talk about my path. So this is going to be somewhat of a long video, so bear with me. Also, I'm not feeling very well today. I can't even speak. But great way to ring in the new year. Anyway, my path, I would say, probably started when I was 7. I felt very connected to the woods at that point. I lived literally in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by cows and forests. So I felt very connected then to the woods. I had what everyone told me, oh, they're just imaginary friends. They weren't. They were not just imaginary friends. They were spirits that I saw and spoke to. At that point, I was very connected to the spiritual world. I ended up losing that connection because, well, oh, it's just imaginary friends, or, oh, you shouldn't do that, that's bad. Well, I was raised in a Catholic household, so anything having to do with spirits and yada yada was so horrible, and I was going to hell, so I kept it to myself and eventually lost those connections. At age 15, I started doing research on other religions just out of curiosity. I was curious. And I started to feel more disconnected from the Catholic faith that I was raised in. And I questioned it. Boy, did I question it to the point where my parents would punish me for it. And eventually, I said, you know what, I'm not even going to talk to my parents about this anymore because they're just going to tell me you're wrong and you're going to hell. So I actually decided, I felt maybe I would get better answers from my priest. And he actually told me, if you're feeling that disconnected from this faith, maybe you need to look into other faiths, maybe paganism or something like that. And I was like, okay. And that's what I did. And I did it in secret because, again, my parents, oh, you're going to go to hell. So I ended up doing everything I did in secret. At age 20, I ended up in an abusive relationship. And I started questioning my beliefs again. I went back to Christianity for a little while, looking for answers. And it felt okay for a little while. I felt more connected again, but not fully. And I lost that faith, so I went back to my research. While I was doing my research, I felt like I had to do, I didn't feel like I had to do it, but I felt drawn to do so, I should say. I felt drawn to pray, but I didn't know who to pray to. So I, in general, prayed to God and Goddess because I didn't at that point believe that God was a single parent. It didn't make sense to me. So I prayed to a general God and Goddess to get me through this hump that I was trying to get over, this block in my road. And for 6 years, I was still stuck. For 6 years, I was stagnant. And it was about that time that I started having dreams. My dreams would consist of this warrior-like woman. She was in Norse Viking clothing or armor. And through my research, I figured out that it was Freya, goddess of sensuality and, of course, a warrior goddess. So I continued having dreams with her. She basically taught me how to keep my spiritual armor. She helped me acquire my spiritual armor. Spiritual armor, you can bring that up at any time if you feel spiritually attacked. It's kind of like a protection spell of sorts. So she helped me through that. But then I started having other dreams along with that, and it was of a man. Again, Norse garb, no armor. And he would put me through all kinds of tests, and he would tell me we're going to play a game. I know that sounds very jigsaw-ish, but that's what it was. We're going to play a game tonight. And I'm like, okay. So I started doing more research. What the heck's going on? Why am I being put through all this? Why is he doing this? Who is he? I found out, again through research, oh, it's Loki, and he's messing with me. I thought he was messing with me, because Loki has a reputation of being the bad guy, which in actuality is not the truth. His games and his tests and his mischief are teaching us lessons. But, excuse me, I ended up doing more research and found Asatru, which is the older belief in the Norse gods of Asgard and so on. And I decided that this is where I belonged. It felt right to me at that point. And for the past, since then, I've been part of the Asatru community. Up until recently. Recently, I've started having spiritual issues, as well as regular everyday issues that have just taken their toll on me. But as far as the spiritual, I wasn't receiving any more divine messages. Usually I would get something at least small on a daily basis. I'm an empath. I feel a lot. Well, I was feeling a lot. Until recently, it's been fairly blocked. I barely feel my own emotions because of the things that have been happening. On top of that, for several months, I have either not felt up to or have been unable to perform any rituals. And I haven't been praying either. I've just been, okay, I'm tired, I don't feel like dealing with this, I'm going to bed. On top of that, I have not felt or seen any spirits whatsoever. Even if I don't see them, I usually feel them pass by. I haven't even felt that. And it's scared me because why am I so disconnected? What's going on? So I've started praying again on a more daily basis. I'm trying to get myself back into the daily prayer, even if it's just a simple thank you, just thank you for keeping me alive, helping me through this, things of that nature. And then I've felt compelled to look back at Asatru, going back into my research. And I actually found that maybe I rushed in. I found that I don't agree with or even resonate with everything that the Asatru faith is. So I'm going back through other faiths that I've studied, and I'm seeing bits and pieces of things that I resonate with, but I still have that connection with the Norse gods, more specifically Freya and Loki. They've been with me for, this long. They have not left me. So if I had to put a label on